Quaker is an official sponsor of Team GB, and rightly so. After all, the rowing team's motto is Oats Move Boats. But why stop there? Team GB, if you're listening, try these on for size. Quaker sachets move bob sleighs. Ugly bowl forward roll. One for the gymnasts. The world's your stage when you eat some beige? Maybe just stick to Oats Move Boats. Quaker. Deliciously real, deliciously ugly sponsor of Team GB.
I like Quaker. I'm not sponsored by him. I didn't notice. I didn't put it on loop, okay? I didn't notice. I didn't notice. The ad played. I saw the ad literally as it was ending. And I went on it and it was like, oh yeah, you get an image of Quaker Oats. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, other than that, I'm doing grand. How are you? I'm gonna have to go back and edit the fucking VOD now. God fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. It's a great way to start this off. By the way, before anyone asks, no, I will not be doing the push-ups and the small amount of sit-ups that were redeemed through the... what the fuck is it called? The donathon yesterday, because, I am not subjecting myself to that. Nope. Nope. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Nope. Nope. I'm not okay. One reason is I'm not in the mood today. So proper reason is I'd rather do it when there's more people here who are actually here for the stuff that happened during the anniversary. This is just a weekly thing now, going to be a weekly thing until whatever thingy is. Hey, little feature spamming hurts is cute. Oh yeah, it is really. But sorry, as I was actually saying, sorry, I saw your profile picture, Dapple, and it's really cute, so it distracted me for a second there. Sorry, but if I could if brain worked until we finish season. Nah, season 2's already been announced, mate. It's gonna be coming out like a week after this one ends. We are in danger. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But anyway, sorry. Real reason why I don't want to do today yet is because this is a side thing that's been going on for a while, whereas the paint thingy stream is gonna, first off, that's not gonna be too much stuff. I don't think that's gonna like fully fill out 2 hours anyway. So you know, that'll be fun. But then gonna do 310 push-ups in a row. I'm gonna die. But also, it's just, again, that was actually redeemed through the anniversary, so it's more likely people who were there for the anniversary are going to be there, which is also why we're gonna do the chat decides, the Twitter, like my profile picture and all that jazz there, and also where we're gonna figure out the monthly membership goals and all that. So yeah, that's fun. What do you know? I mean, thank you, I stole it. We are never escaping Twisted Wonderland. Wait, what do you mean? Wait. What's your profile picture meant to be? Hold up. I can't actually see it because it's tiny on my screen. 1 second, I'm going on the phone. I'm gonna stalk your account. I'm gonna see what it is. What is that? Go to channel. You can't escape me, Dapple. I'm gonna see what it is, even if my Wi-Fi is shit on my phone. And also, by the way, Zero, to answer your question from earlier, since we've now finally gotten back on the topic of Twisted Wonderland, who is, the thing of who is Crowley twisted from, it's not entirely clear, because he's a bit different from the rest of the staff. The staff members all have very clear interpretations. Sam is Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. Cruel is twisted from Cruella de Vil. Ashton is obviously, Vargas is obviously twisted from Gaston. And Train is twisted from the evil stepmother from Cinderella. Crowley is weird in the sense of he's the only known Disney, like, Blackbird types are either the crow from, the crow from the evil queen's crow from Snow White, or the raven that's with Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty, obviously. And while it's a weird thing of so the reason why people can't really tell is because the school they go to is called Night Raven College, so it would therefore make sense that the headmaster is meant to be a raven, so therefore that would point it towards the direction of being Maleficent's raven, which since the game was announced, since the character designs were released, there's been a few theories about Crowley and Malleus being related in some way. It's always been a theory kind of just like bubbling under the surface. So yeah, so that those kind of stoked those flames a bit more. But then also his name is Crowley, and the oldest dorm at Night Raven is the Polyfiore dorm, which is the one based off the Evil Queen. So therefore, that's why people will also say, like, no, he's meant to be inspired by the crow, the Evil Queen's crow instead. It's a weird mess of things. Like, there's other pieces of evidence for what's what. Like, his giant staff thing that you see, it says Raven on it. So people are like, he literally has a giant staff key thing that says Raven. But then people are like, no, he's, he's first thing he interacts with, or like something he's heavily linked to, is the Dark Mirror, which is based on the mirror from Snow White, which therefore, obviously, if he's shown to be like the main, it's like this main magical artifact that the school has. There's a bunch of them just like flittering around and come up when it's needed for the plot. Like, there's a magic mirror, which is very clearly meant to be inspired by the magic mirror from, what's it? Beauty and the Beast. They have a lot of mirrors in the school for some reason, which obviously harks back to the fact of, well, there's another thing is like, oh, he must be the crow because not only is the dark mirror there, there's also just a bunch of mirror imagery, and the only movie that really has mirror imagery is Snow White, so it's a thing. It's a thing. We should watch Cyberpunk Edgerunners after this. Gonna have to take a while for that. Natalia, a request that if you did D&D, I am put on the board for potential DMs. We will see. We will see. Honestly, we gotta get through some rewards first before we actually, you know, get that far. I'll be doing homework during the stream, so I might be active. Gang, I'm gonna be yapping regardless, so let's enjoy. Got it. So we don't really know. We don't know specifically, but we know the two options. I personally, I'm just gonna say it straight because I don't want to reveal any spoilery things because, again, this is still theories, but I am more of the opinion that he is the Raven from Sleeping Beauty. A lot of people said, like, there were some people when book 4 came out, which is the Pomefiore arc, that, there's more evidence now pointing towards him being the Crow. But personally, I've always heavily been in the group that thinks he is meant to be, inspired or twisted from Maleficent's Raven. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the stinkiest at the one time? At least make it rhyme. If you're going to insult me to my face, at least make it rhyme. I am right here. I'm so confused. Did Disney make an anime series? They did, but they made a game first, which isn't as wild, but they made an anime game first, which is a bunch of pretty boys in dorms doing pretty boy things, and they're all in some way or another inspired from Disney villains or henchmen, barring like 3 of them, which are known as the Light Trio, but that's a whole theory for another day, which I don't feel like I need to get into. But don't post that emoji. At least use my own smiling emoji if you're gonna be like that. Come on, man. I'm right here. I am right here. Anywho's. To get rid of that feet gif, I have gone so long without having to perceive it. Mickey Mouse, I own your series. You know, without spoiling too much, Mickey Mouse is a canonical figure in this world. It's not even like a twisted version. Mickey Mouse just exists. He's just a thing. He's just there, he's vibing. And it's like, what the hell? Okay, I might need to do some research later. If you want a non-spoiler rundown, I can give it. Like, even now, or probably better at the end of stream, just so we can actually get into the reaction, but I will say, we have just... Next month is when Book 8, which... Okay, so I mentioned last stream that there are 2 schools. So the story takes place in Night Raven College. But they live on Night Raven College is located on Sage's Island. Night Raven College is at the top of the island, and there's another school, I believe I mentioned it last time, called Royal Sword Academy, which is at the other end of the island, which is the school where all the heroes, which is inspired by all the heroes, or like the princesses, like, there's a Snow White dorm, there's an Alice dorm, I think it's Alice. They haven't said yet specifically what quote-unquote historical figures in that world the dorms are inspired by, but you can pretty much guess it's meant to be exactly parallel to Night Raven, like protagonist-antagonist thing. There was rumors when the game first came out. I cannot say this as fact, but this was a rumor floating around that Yana in an interview said if the series did well, they were considering extending the game past its original expected ending to have a Royal Sword Academy arc. But, considering how well the game's doing, that if that interview was true, we are 1000% going to Royal Sword Academy, which I'm really hoping we do go to, because we've had a few characters from there teased, one of which is going to be showing up today. Damon Mills is another goddamn cat boy. But... but yeah, so... Sorry. Damon Mills! It's Damon goddamn Mills! How could I not be excited over Damon goddamn Mills? First, you get frickin' Alejandro Saab as Azul, you get frickin' Paul Castro Jr. as... what's his bloody name? Riddle. And like... yeah, but now I got Damon Mills as a fucking cat boy! Boy. Kingdom Hearts crossover. Someone actually, I mentioned this last stream as well. An artist did that, where they took their Kingdom Hearts OC, because the game's an isekai game. The main character gets transported from modern day Japan, modern day Japan, and thrust into the game. And you know, it would be really cool if they did do a Kingdom Hearts crossover, but if they did, they'd probably wait for like Kingdom Hearts 4 to come out. That would be interesting, because it would be interesting if there was just a world based off of Twisted Wonderland in the game. I highly doubt it, but they've been shown to use other game properties before. It's not just Final Fantasy now. They have The World Ends With You, which I had a complete and utter meltdown when I saw Neku in Dream Drop Distance for the second time. I saw him the first time, and I was like, who is this guy? Found out about his game, played his game, replayed Dream Drop Distance, absolutely fangirled the hell out. Neko is my favorite from The World Ends With You, in case you didn't know. Until I make sure it's those anniversary. I will! I will! But anyway, sorry. As I was saying, Damon Mills is a cat boy. I am ready. My body is ready to hear everything that is about to come out of this man's mouth. I don't know if any other part of me is ready, but you know. Yeah. But yeah, just to summarize where we left off, they're gonna summarize it, but I figured I may as well say it anyway. I'm just gonna tell the audio as I explain. Basically, Ace was a doo-doo head, ate Riddle's tart. Riddle's like, off with your head, and blocked off his magic with his collar unique spell thing. And now Ace is being like, I don't want to have the singer on my neck, it's annoying. And Trey Clover, who's like the vice house warden of Heartsleeville, Riddle's the house warden, that's why he could cut off Thingy's magic and whatnot, or legally was allowed to. Trey's like, oh, hey, well, you ate part of his tart, just bake him a whole new tart, dude. Well, and Ace is like, oh, can you bake it for me? You're a baker, son. He's like, you gotta help me. And then Deuce, Grim, you use the main character, and Grim is also kind of, but he's like the main side character, if that makes sense. They're all like, fine, we'll help. And now it's the day of the birthday party, and they're going to give Riddle the tart. What could possibly go wrong? What could this... I mean, look at the thumbnail. Riddle looks so happy. Nothing's gonna go wrong at all. Nothing's gonna go wrong at all. Yeah. Yeah, content no one teaser. She can't clip. You can't clip. If Kingdom 4 comes out, from everything I've been hearing, it sounds like the news has gone dead on it. Don't. Like, they already canceled Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Don't, please. Please. I was so looking forward to Missing Link. I don't need to be scared. Anyway, I think we're just gonna jump into it now. Basically, pray that nothing goes wrong. I have future knowledge. I know exactly what's gonna happen, but I'm excited to hear the dub voices, so let us finally begin. It's the tart! The maroon tart. Or the chestnut tart. Oh, you're so happy. I love Max Mittelman, by the way. I haven't said it enough. But I'm gonna tell you the episode you... Oh, for God's sake. I'm gonna put it on the just chatting screen. I'm still here. Oh shit, I didn't get rid of this shit. Guys, the donathon's still going. The donathon's still going, guys. You want to get to the 800 quid stretch goal? Come now. Come on. That's YouTube. I don't want YouTube on Discord. God damn it. Come on. Come all. And... God damn it. Anyway. Alright, now I'm just gonna go into this and I'm gonna be like, oh, where could it be? Where the fuck is KB? Where the fuck is your thing? There it is. I'm still going to the DMs to grab it. I am pathetic, but hey, I'm pathetic in a way that makes you want to stay, and that's what matters. Hey. Don't know why I'm proud of that, but I am. Nope, no, okay. Oh, fuck off with these stupid AI ads. I hate them so much. They look so gross. So gross. I hate them. YouTube, don't kill me, please. But, like, still, it's gross. I'm going to use my abilities as a prophet. I totally didn't pretty much predict things are going to go horribly wrong. There will be catboys and backstory lore. What? No. I mean, huh? Anyway. Back to the online screen. Anyway, okay. Oh, damn, we have a Star Joe. Star Joe, you were the one who bloody... Star Joe. We also quietly hear that's from my headphones. Let me turn it down. I turned it up too high, god damn it. Anyway, let's getting in. It's just... Oh, yeah, and there's a bunch of dudes depressed because Riddle's going on a bit of a tirade right now, just... getting people collared left and right. It's like, how many people are that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 8 kids in this dorm. Just from... Okay. No, I need to ask. I don't know how many people are like new for this thing. How many of you have like actually ever drunk lemonade with honey? Because honey needs to be put in a hot drink to dissolve, obviously. It's like a sugar-based compound or whatever. So like, who... Please tell me that this is just, like, some weird translation thing. Or, like, is this a thing in Japan? Is this a Japanese thing? Wait, is it on Disney Plus? So I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, it's on Disney. Well, yeah, property of Disney. Watch on Disney Plus. Yes, it is. It is on Disney Plus. Or Hulu, depending. You might have a Hulu subscription, so you can watch on Hulu as well. I am watching it on Disney Plus and nothing else because I don't have Hulu. Mishearing, misport, or something like that. We don't have a Discord. Jesus Christ. Anywho, we're continuing. No, I need to talk about something before we continue. I saw the okay, maybe not the dumbest, but there was someone on, like, I never even drank honey with my tea except for, like, once. When I was a kid, I don't drink tea. Personally, I don't like tea. But my nan used to make me, like, tea with honey and lemon because it's meant to be good for your throat. She would make it for me and I'd just, like, awkwardly sip it, hating the taste of the tea, but, like, not wanting to, not wanting to throw away my nan's, like, attempt at helping me, which it did work. But it was just the same as, like, drinking cough syrup for me. It was... See, also Nazis not go on. No, because I don't want to get in legal trouble. I'm not getting in legal trouble, god damn it. I ain't sailing the seas. This siren maid always swimming in legally safe waters, and that is all. Yeah, it's I've drunk honey in, like, hot drinks, but I can't understand why you put it in a cold drink, because then it's just gonna congeal and be really awkward. And as someone who is, like, oh my fucking god, I spilled matcha on my rug the other day. So in my room, I have this, like, not the other day, literally, like, less than an hour ago, I have, like, a white rug in my room. And you know how last stream I was saying, like, oh yay, I have a new My roommates bought me a glass for my anniversary that has a lid, so if I spill stuff, it's not gonna go all over my desk. My dumbassery. Like, what's it? I needed matcha earlier today because I needed the energy. But there was like a little bit left in the bottom. By little, I mean like get 2 fingers and stack them on top of each other. Oh. And lights are off in my room. I went to close my curtains, and my desk is right by my window. Which is why I'm always like, if you can hear the rain, no you can't. Because it's like right next to me. And as I'm turning around from closing my... I hit the new glass with my elbow. And apparently that was enough to also pop the lid off as it fell on the floor and fell all over my rug. And now I have green stains on a pure white rug. You know, I wanted to get like a dark colored rug because I knew there was going to be an incident like this at some point. I knew it was going to happen. Even the most careful of people cannot avoid stains on their rugs. It is just the laws of nature themselves. But I was talked into getting a white rug. A nice light colored rug. And now I'm going to have to go out and buy special rug cleaning fluid or whatever the frig it is. Because I've tried anti-back wipes, I've tried like hot water and soap. It's not working, so that's great. Now I just forced DM Nat and chat. Poor Mr. Rug. You fool! Don't be being mean! Screw it, we're continuing. Okay, we're continuing now. No more of this drinks talk. We're just gonna watch boys suffering. Riddle's just sitting there. Yay, and the dark goopy stuff is back. I'm curious how this is gonna be handled, the goopy stuff and what it means. Get a black rug that doesn't even show blood. I was gonna get a black rug, but the people who I told, like, oh, I'm gonna get a black rug, they were like, no, it's too depressing, get a bridal colored one. I'm like, fine. I do wonder. I never checked. I should have, but these Disney segments, I don't know. I never fully checked if it was the original voice acting, scrubbed clean and put in like the anime, or if it's like they've hired new voice act or like impressionists. Grim, why do you not have any? Grim, why are you sleeping on top of the sheets? My boy, please, I know you have fur, but please stay warm. Also, where did Yukon get the pajamas from? First episode, he went to sleep on like a black, like in his black under t-shirt. And then, sorry, skipping the intro as usual. But no, he just randomly found pajamas. Did the ghost give it to him? He's just sitting there tyrannically. You should have gotten a green rug. Oh wait, shut your goddamn mouth. Grim uses magic to warm himself. He does use fire magic. That is a thing. It is. You could technically not be wrong. Because of Wonderland. Yeah. Oh, did not mean to slam my desk like that. Jesus. Once again, can't read Japanese. Don't know what that says. I started saying it earlier, but I didn't. Max Biddleman, Aces VA. I don't know if I've gassed him up enough as I would like to. I know I've mentioned on a previous stream, he's one of my favorite voice actors, but his performance as Ace, once again, is cementing him as an amazing VA, like one of the best in my eyes. Like, he sounds so natural, and he's got this sort of natural cockiness to his voice, which works really well with Ace. Oh, Jesus. So Kater, you can't see him on screen just yet, but there was just like a cacophony of Katers. but for some reason it only came through one of my headphone things, so it felt really weird. I just have a sea of caters to my left and a soundproof whatever to my right. Oh god, it's an army of gingers! Run! Run while you can! Not the gingers! Does he have flamers? He does, but okay. So, in the most non-spoilery way possible, blue flames, like specifically blue flames in Twisted Wonderland, don't actually mean heat. So, unfortunately, those aren't actually warming him. I mean, the ones he breathes seem to burn people. But, oh, Jesus Christ, Cater jump scare in the corner there. No Cater, Trey. He's just like, hello, I'm here too. I'm just hanging out with my sea of Caters. As one does. I was about to make a joke, but I'm like, no, this is meant to be a family-friendly TV show, so you'll have to imagine what I was gonna say about Trey and an army of Caters. Or a harem of Caters, I should say. Graham! Oh, please, 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 please! Yay! Oh, they gave him another ribbon! Oh, okay, no, I need to... Okay, obviously you can't see the colors of this, but I need to show this off. He's got a little Hearts of You themed ribbon. This is... Oh, I love this so much. I love it when they do this. Oh, I was sad because in the manga... I only remember in the manga that you didn't get an outfit, which was weird to me, because in the game, they explicitly, like, state... Keita also gives, the main character, Hearts of Yule outfit, which I think is just the regular dorm uniform, just so they're fitting in with the crowd. But yeah, with Grim, it's like a cute little thing. Every time there's an event, or if they need to dress up, they'll change his ribbon around. And it's just so cute. I feel like how Marion does when she puts on a cosplay, but directed towards Grim. He's so cute, and you don't actually get to see the backs of the ribbons ever because it's all forward-facing sprites. Oh, so that's what it looks like at the back. Oh, it's so cute. Grim, my pretty little baby. He would kill me if he ever heard me say that, but he's so precious. Family friendly. Shut up. I'm not dirty-minded. You're dirty-minded. That's cute rapping on the present, by the way. I've always wanted to... Why are there so many characters? Why did he do split card before he showed up? This doesn't happen in like the... I don't think it happens. Does it happen? I don't remember this happening in literally any other iteration. But apparently he just decided for the anime. You just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. We're gonna get to the birthday party. It's not gonna be all the dorms. It's just gonna be a sea of Keita. Even Riddle. He's just Keita dressed up as Riddle. Look, good luck with your chem work. Good luck with your chems, Dojo. What did I do? What did I do? Okay, we're good. 9. Wow, a lot of... As Ace just said, there are a lot of people with collars, surprisingly. Ooh! Why are those trumpets moving like that? That is... Okay, that's really cute. That was a cute... He's not Whitehead, but they had a bunny beastman announce Riddle's entrance, which obviously is like a callback to the White Rabbit. He looks so somber. Like, it's weird. He's weirdly somber with this whole thing. You would think like, oh, it's a dorm event. Everybody's gonna be all fun and jovial, and he's gonna at least have a smile, but he's just so like, ah. He's saying the line, which you guys can't hear. But basically, okay, it's a double reference. So he's saying the roses are red, the tablecloths are white, which is a callback to the original movie and the Queen of Hearts with her thing about something, or maybe it's someone else. It's a callback to Alice in Wonderland. But also with the first, like, so they did animated trailers about when the game was halfway through. So, like, at least after Octavianella's arc. And that was how the original animated trailer for the game started. The roses are red, the tablecloths are white. A perfect unbirthday party. Ah, I love the little nods. Oh, he's actually smiling, finally. There's a mouse in the teapot! Wait, that's so cute. They don't show that in the game. Oh, and they got a Mad Hatter themed cake, like, right there. That's so cool. Oh, I'm sorry. But as a hardcore Disney nerd from basically birth, I love all these, like, little like, nods to the movies and how well all the elements are incorporated. Because, like, oh, I just love it. Also, you can't see, but, like, behind the blur on the screen is, like, just a tiny, like, quickly drawn background Grimm just standing there, like, eh. A posing Grimm with his fancy new ribbon. He's actually smiling. This is crazy. Riddle Roseheart smiling since when? No. Okay, the party's actually started now, and it's just a soiree. Why is there a dude with a collar next to him? Where's Cater? Oh, Grimm's just, like, eating everything. That just still frame. Oh, ooh, here come. Okay. Here comes the moment of truth, guys. Ace is about to give the tarts. He's about to give the tart to Riddle. So, if you think everything will go well and Ace will lose his collar, put A. If you think Ace is still gonna somehow mess it up and keep the collar on, press B. If you think something absolutely catastrophic is gonna happen because of this, because Ace can't keep his goddamn mouth shut, press C. And I remember that on birthday is not something that happens when someone dies, but just a party when no one is born at the day. You thought they were celebrating someone's death? Wait, no. Told you thought they were having a funeral? You thought they were having a wake? Hi, welcome to Night Raven College. Here in Hartsfield Dorm, we celebrate your death. It's a common occurrence, at least once a month. D, both B and C. So what's the opposite of a birthday? I don't know. A normal day? Because, like, okay, listen. There's at least similarities between a wake and a birthday. Because you're celebrating someone's life. One is celebrating it while it's there. The other celebrating it after it's gone. So, like, still. Hey, KB. One they enter the realm of life. The other is about leaving the realm of life. I love how everyone said C, by the way. No one in this stream has any faith in Ace. Beautiful. Can I just say that is a beautiful still frame of Riddle. The animators treat him so nicely. He always looks, well, when he's not having a major rampage, he always looks so pretty. His little pout! He's like, bro, I'm trying to drink my tea. Could you do this later? Ah! No, sorry, I need a minute. That was so pure. Riddle's just like, he's so, okay, that was so, just through the expressions alone, you can see the storytelling. He's like, he's just drinking his tea. He's like, someone approaches him, he's like, and then he pouts because he sees it's Ace, and he's like, well, Ace is a troublemaker, we definitely don't mesh. But then it's like, then he, like, his expression softens because it's like, oh, he's actually apologizing, he's doing the thing I'm hoping he'd do, and he is openly, like, smiling now. He is ready to accept this gift. Like, okay, I, of all people who knows the game, will 100% call Riddle unfair and way too over the top with his shit, but if there is something that Riddle is, what's it? Okay, if I had to D&D chart this, I would say that Riddle is technically lawful good, but to others he is perceived as lawful evil, because in his mind he's lawful good because he believes that he's using the law, his strict adherence to the rules is a good thing, but obviously to others it's a detriment, so that's why I'd say he's perceived as lawful evil at this point of the story. But it's the strict following of the rules. There's a term for rule interpretation that he follows, like golden something. But it's just like, it's so sweet because you see the moments where he's like, he isn't entirely he's unjust in how strictly he follows the rules, but if you follow them, he is just fine. He's fine. Lawful neutral kind of, but it's a weird dichotomy of him believing he's lawful good and everybody else perceiving his actions as lawful evil, if that makes sense. Because he's making people suffer through his strict adherence to the rules. But in his mind it's a good thing. So it's not lawful neutral, because lawful neutral would be someone who's just getting by following the law. It's the fact that he imposes it onto other people is the bit where it gets like confusing. I'm surprised none of these videos haven't struck down. Is this truly the way they get out of being copyrighted? Trust me, when this series is over, I am privating it and then just sharing a link to the playlist in the Discord. If I somehow manage to go through all of this without getting a single copyright strike, I will be shocked. And I am praying I get to be shocked. Okay, sorry, he's so soft! He's so soft! He's literally Okay, there's, in Twisted Wonderland, there are plenty of characters who come off as parental. One big one who I'd say comes off as very motherly is Vil Schoenheit. But there are, like, these brief moments where you see the whole, like, Riddle has a bit of a parental side. It's not paternal, I would say it's more maternal leaning, but it's so cute. It's so cute. And when you know his backstory, it makes a bit more sense, which, yeah, but it's so cute. Can I just say, even prior to this episode, I always felt that Riddle wasn't a bad person, but definitely far to strike. Yeah, I mean, it's... As someone who hates, like, strict adherence to rules, I would definitely be an ace in this situation. I would definitely see Riddle as an annoyance. After, like, moments like this, I wouldn't see him as an asshole, but I definitely would be more of an ace where I would be like, dude, you're going too far with this shit, can you stop, please? Can you please give everyone a break? You are killing everyone's mental health. But he's not, yeah, he's, as a neutral viewer who's also now has had time to, like, play the game and read literally every other medium out there and digest it, he's definitely, you can tell he's not, like, an awful human being. Not like some of the other characters in this. Crowley! I don't like the Birdman. Anyway. Oh, that was so cute the way he said that. Sorry, I am going on like a Riddle gush moment here at the minute, but he said that so cute. He's like, what tart did you make? He's just literally having a casual, it's like the most casual conversations with Ace. Which is a bit pride before the folly, but you know. Here we go, come on. Oh, but now he's mad. You can't see. His face has immediately just changed from, like, pleasant to, he's like that now. He's like that now. Things are about to get a bit bad. Oh dear. What did you think of him when you first saw Riddle? Okay, so I've been following the game since it was first announced. So I was there as character designs were getting announced and, like, visuals were being shown. So back at the start of it, I didn't really have much of an opinion of him as Riddle, because when the character designs were announced, they were announced by Dorm, but a lot of people were kind of quick to make jokes because the character design is done by Anna Toboso, or like she's the lead character designer or whatever. A lot of people were quick to point out, both personality-wise and appearance-wise, he highly resembles CL Phantom Hive. So my first impression of him was CL Phantom Hive if he was a redhead. Past that, I didn't... See, it was hard to hate him initially, because I majorly disliked Ace when he was first introduced. I explained it in the first episode that they softened down his character from the manga and the anime, but in the game, when you first meet Ace, he's an absolute dickwad. He is such an asshole. Then it took me for ages to get over my hatred of Ace. Is really that freaking meme of I see Deuce, baby boy, baby. I look over at Ace, evil. That was my reaction to the two of them. So because I disliked Ace so much, I found it funny what was happening to him. I was like, that's karma, you goddamn arsehole. You goddamn arsehole, this is what you deserve. I just straight up so unfortunately I couldn't really look at Riddle with a neutral lens because of just how I perceived Ace. But to be fair, as the story was going on, I did start to majorly dislike Riddle, but in the sense of like a character you love to hate, like Monica from Despair Girls, like Danganronpa Despair Girls. But yeah, I suppose the best way to describe it is meme to neutrality to actually getting into what the story is trying to make you feel, like dislike of Riddle. So it wasn't anything too outside the norm. You're a huge fan of Minos for sure. I am a mega nerd. I'm a Twisted Wonderland fan to death. He does kind of look like CL. It didn't help that there's a character in the Octavianal arc called Jade Leech who literally looks almost identical to Sebastian, even to the point where he's doing that, you know, that pose where he puts his hand like slightly diagonally on his chest and he's like, I'm simply one hell of a butler. Jade Leech looks exactly like Sebastian, so the second he was announced, people jumped right back on the Riddle Rose Hearts' redhead CL train, and fan art after fan art after fan art of the two of them wearing CL and Sebastian's outfits came out. And it just, the meme carried on for like ages, even after the game was released. I would say not, even until like, God, like, it's hard because I would say I'd say about Pomafiore arc when it finally died off, and it carried on for ages because Jade was heavily involved in obviously the Octavianal arc, and then also the Scarabia arc, which was right after it, but then afterwards was the Pomafiore arc, and he kind of like, his relevance to the plot kind of died there, so people were able to just like sit back and not have to focus on either of the characters related to the meme. Sorry, I interrupted this man's 10,000th freak out of the day. Let's enjoy it. Is that a good face? You see Riddle about to absolutely blow a gasket, and Riddle's like, "Is that your happy face?" He's just so traumatized by this boy. He has never seen Riddle happy. He's never seen Riddle happy. So he just automatically is just like, I guess this guy just looks grouchy all the time. Even when he's... Ace is just like, so confused. Poor boy. Oh no. So, okay. I would like people to guess why Riddle is angry. Do we think A, Ace introduced the tart in a really awful way? B, the presenting of the tart at this time of the birthday party was a bad thing? Or C, the tart is the issue? I would like people to guess what the issue is here. Or hey, even go off on a limb and say what you think might be the issue. Rules? Well, yeah, it's always rules. Whenever Riddle is upset, you better believe the rules are involved. It's the tart. Anybody else got any guesses? Anybody else got any guesses? Sorry, I'm staring at Riddle's face right now. And because it's like I've caught him in the middle of saying something, he looks like a snapping turtle. See? All three. All three. He's just somehow mucked up so bad. He broke 3 rules in one. I would not put it past Ace to do that. It's like, hey, House Warden, how dare you address me so casually at this time of day, wearing that shirt with that tone inflection, while at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. Don't you know you were in violation of rules 806, 409, 221, and 6? I would not put it past Ace to do that. D, because plot requires BS to function. He saw a fly on the pie. He's like, God damn it, now I can't eat it. But no, it's so stupid. The rules weren't the most stupid. But it is rule like 500 something that you cannot bring a chestnut tart to an unbirthday party. Trey kind of dobbed us in it, guys. Hey guys, let's make a chestnut tart. He's been craving it. He'll love it. Why did you break the rules? Oh, shit. Riddle is like fully like, okay, I know I said before about the fact that he dislikes Ace because their personalities clash so much. And also, like, to be fair to him, as a rule like worshipper, Ace has been absolutely smashing rule breaking out of the box since he got it. Both, again, intentionally and unintentionally. So Riddle is at this point, he's like, you're literally just breaking the rules to mess with me at this point now. You cannot be this dumb. You cannot be this dumb. Did Trey even get that far into the rules? No. To be fair to Trey, there's like, what, I think 810 rules in Heartslobule. That's how many rules there are. Trey only has like up to 350 memorized. He says that in a second. So I know I kind of just dragged Trey a little bit, but it's to be fair to Trey, he didn't know either. Riddle is the only person who knows every single rule. You have ruined the entire adventure, imbecile! Riddle just straight up said, like, how dare you bring this tart? You've ruined everything. It's a freaking meme of, what do you mean you're not coming to my party? Bethany, I baked biscuits. Wherever the freaking meme goes.
Rule 562? How many rules are there? There are 810.
Oh, that's cute. I can't fully show it because of the cropping, but that's cute. I don't. He looks absolutely pissed. He has the annoyed, pissed off eyeshadow, like shadows around the eyes and everything. But he looks cute. He looks cute. Okay. They're really good at drawing angry expressions, which is good for the series. You got to wonder why some of these rules are so highly specific. Well, they all originate from the Queen of Hearts. All the rules of Heartslobule are the rules that were established by the Queen of Hearts. So I feel like that answers that question.
And someone around here must enforce them. 810?
Oh yeah, they didn't know how many rules there were. As they said, there's 810. They just figured it out.
Trey, did you know about this? I haven't memorized that far. Only up to 350.
Kato just straight up was like, dude, did you do this on purpose? He's like, no, I swear I did not.
Didn't expect there to be a rule dictating tart flavors. As House Warden of the Heartslobule...
You would think, though, okay, to actually drag everyone involved in this situation, you would think, due to the fact that, you know, that the whole reason they're in this mess in the first place is because of, is because they were breaking the rules of Heartslobule. You would think, even if they didn't know there was a specific rule against it, someone in the group would have raised their hand and been like, hey, maybe we should just make sure that would like just get the rule book and make sure that we're not going to do anything that's going to piss him off further, because everybody in this has a do not piss off Riddle more agenda or like of some form of it. Ace and not Ace because he wants to get the collar off. Cater and Trey because they just want Riddle to chill because it makes their lives harder every time he freaks out because they have to do damage control. Deuce because he just doesn't want to get involved in any like issues further because of his like I want to be a honest student thing. But yeah. Why did nobody think to just pick up a rule book or something and just double check? Surely that would have been easier to do than have to like worry about all this mess or like get in this situation in the first place. That's an interesting detail there. When he's saying he just said a line like based on the Queen of Hearts' strict discipline. Oh, you guys can see it, luckily. Yeah, he clutched the rose, the painted rose on his outfit. Which, I don't know, I don't really know how to interpret that. Because painted roses are more commonly associated, obviously, with the playing card soldiers. So why would it there? Unless it's meant to be like them getting caught out for painting the roses was a bad thing, and it's meant to be like him clutching it is, what you call it? You know, clutching it is meant to be like him crushing rule breaking or something. I don't know. On one hand, yes, they should have double-checked the rules, but on the other hand, why would anyone think there would be a rule regarding tart flavors at a party? I don't know, dietary restrictions? I mean, let's be real, there are at least dietary restrictions or, like, requirements that they need to look out for. What if someone has a nut allergy and they brought that, and then the next thing you know, before Riddle could even freak out, the table next to them, someone just has a massive flare-up. I shouldn't laugh about that. I'm just imagining this situation where Riddle is so geared up, ready to tell Ace off because of the rule, and then immediately he has to stop because it goes into a medical emergency. And the reason Ace gets away with not getting, like, absolutely yelled at once again is because he made things, like, exponentially worse than they could have been. Again, I would not put it past Ace to have a situation like that with him at the helm. Sorry, I'm gonna have to continue, otherwise I'm gonna keep thinking about
Dispose of that at once! No way! That's a lot of nonsense! If you're tossing it, I'll eat it.
Okay, so Riddle's just like, throw out the tart. Ace is like, no, I don't want to. And Grimm's like, give me it, I want to eat it.
House Warden, please accept my apologies. I was the one who suggested he make a chestnut tart. Yeah, it never even occurred to us to check if there was a rule against it. The creation of the tart is not the...
Okay, this is something that I have an issue with, and something that, to me, in literally every other iteration of this, I, to some degree, or not some degree, in literally every other situation where there's a rule break, Riddle is bang on everybody involved. He literally does, he takes no prisoners, essentially. But here lies my issue with this one scene, and it does show he does have bias in these situations. Trey's being like, hey, sorry, Kater and Trey are both being like, hey, sorry, this is on us, we didn't check that this would be against the rules for him to bring it, we straight up, we baked it and we encouraged him to bring it to the party as a way to make up for, obviously, the prior stuff. But Riddle is just like, no, that's still, the creation of the tart and everything else is irrelevant. He's the one who brought it, which, when you're gonna punish, like, 8 people for drinking lemonade and honey, or, like, literally, every, like, the shit with the hedgehogs, and there's, like, another thing in the game, I don't think it made it into the anime, or, like, the manga, where it's like, everybody involved suffered and off with their head. Despite all that, Riddle straight up is like to these two, no, you're not getting your heads taken off. Which to me just, again, it shows bias. And it's like, why do they get to get away with it? Why are you being nice to them? I get they're like I get it's like your vice house warden and like your vice house warden. I don't really know what Cater is considered. But it's like, why do they get to not have to suffer consequences when they were the orchestrators of the event? Like, it's another thing of why you realize Riddle is unreasonable, because he doesn't listen to the full facts of a case. He doesn't take, like, oh, they were unaware, they didn't, even if they didn't want to break a rule, because they were just unaware, he doesn't take into consideration, like, oh, someone is unaware that a rule is a rule, so they broke it regardless of intent. And, you know, there's also just, like, again, with, like, this specific scenario, the things leading up to it, he doesn't take into account. Fuck you, Riddle, for the scene. And this is literally the only scene where I consider you being... well, all of them I consider him being unreasonable, but this is, like, the most unreasonable for him. That actually makes sense. Okay, I rescind my comment. Yeah, if you punish someone, but not all, then it's not proper justice. Exactly. It's a thing in law itself, actually. Not law as in show law, but LAW, laws of the land. There's a specific interpretation called, like... So when it comes to law, when you interpret, like, acts or whatever it's called in your country, I forget what it's called in, like, American, when you interpret, like, bylaws and, like, acts of government, there's 4, like, different interpretations you can have, and the one that Riddle seems to subscribe to is, like, the golden rule, or I don't think it's called the golden rule, but it's the golden something, where it's you adhere strictly to what is on the page, regardless of what different interpretations, ways of interpretation done by judges are. There's ones where you take Parliament's, rather than interpreting what's strictly on the page, you interpret it through what Parliament was attempting to achieve, rather than gold standard. Not gold standard, it's golden. It's golden. I need to look it up again, but yeah, there's one where it's like a judge will interpret an act or a bylaw by whoever created it and their intent of creating the rule. There's one that's kind of similar to the golden one, but it's called the literal interpretation, where you see what's on the page and you see what's the person has done in relation to it, and you just punish them according to that. The golden one is you... there's another one, but it's like... There's another one where it's like you follow the act, but you follow it in, like, the literal loosest sense in the face of, like, even if the act was made, like, all the way back in, like, the 1800s, and it's somehow still applicable to the modern day, you, rather than following what the act says, you say, like, well, no, this, while I will follow some of it, the majority of it is intensely outdated and does not agree with, like, public sentiment and the modern attitudes, so they just, like, it's basically like, okay, yeah, technically I have to follow this, so I will say I'm following this, but really I'm just doing what I think is right. And I'm pretending I'm following the act to justify it. But the golden one is just straight up like, this is what's on the page, and there have been cases where judges follow the golden interpretation, and they're like, well, this guy has clearly done something wrong. This is where it differs from the literal interpretation. In the literal interpretation, they will see the person who's done something wrong, and then will decide, like, they'll do something like, they'll get a dictionary, and they'll say, like, well, technically it says, when it was written it says this, but also the word here can also mean this, so that's how I'm gonna get ya. But the golden interpretation is like, well, this is what this word means, this is what's commonly accepted. Even though the guy clearly committed a crime, he didn't do this in the literal sense, so, you know what, he can get off scot-free. And that's why the golden rule sucks. Yes. Long story short, that's the kind of thing that Riddle subscribes to. He seems to think like he follows everything to the word rather than to the intent, which is again, he's unreasonable. Why is his anger expression so cool though? He is mad. It's major props to Paul Castro Jr. for his amazing voice work here. He is screaming is incredible. You can hear as an outsider like, is it really that important? We're at the party. Oh, Deuce is speaking up. Oh! Sorry. I'm sorry, but Riddle's face here is just... I can't even tell you what emotion that's conveying, but it's just so... Oh! I don't know why, but it's just... He's pretty here. Brody messed up. Yeah, you being the Alice the Storm needs. This was a conversation I was having with someone. It's... like... People say, like... Okay. I mentioned, obviously, we talked about this at the start, that characters from Twisted Wonderland are twisted from other people. And as I said, the members of Hearts of Buell are twisted from the card soldiers, barring Riddle. But a lot of people also think that Ace is partially inspired by Alice as well, because all the characters seem to have, other than the card soldiers, seem to have some sort of like inspiration from other characters in the movie. Trey being the Mad Hatter with the fact he wears hats, and also he makes food and stuff for the unbirthday party, and the person who has the strongest link to the unbirthday parties is the Mad Hatter. People think Cater is the king, and after his hometown event, Deuce is pretty clearly linked to the White Rabbit, which I'll give a full explanation for another time if people are interested. But a lot of people say, like, oh, Ace... well, to start with, a bit of a small trend you will see through names is their puns on the characters, either their origins or who they are currently. And another character, Vil Schoenheit, I mentioned him earlier. Vil is literally just evil without the E. That's literally where it comes from. And so people are like, well, Ace, Alice, take out the L-I, you get Ace. And also the fact that he's the one who is continuously defying Riddle, who represents the Queen of Hearts. Which is then, it makes it interesting for me, because obviously people will then point to you and be like, well, no, you's meant to be Alice. But then there's also an interesting thing with Chenya, the cat boy that we're going to see in a minute, voiced by Damon Mills, let's go. He's inspired by the original Alice in Wonderland's Cheshire Cat. But when the game was being released, a lot of people pointed out, like, hey, Grim, our companion character, also looks like the Cheshire Cat, but from the more recent live-action movie, the grey and blue one. So that then so because of that, I like to think that both Ace and the main character are meant to represent Alice. A lot of times during these, when you see these arcs, the main character tends to fill the role of the princess or the main character. Like, so like in this situation there would be Alice, but then if you see like the Aladdin inspired arc, they then therefore represent Aladdin, but 9 times out of 10 they end up representing princesses. So yeah, so it's like, it's interesting to me because you can solidly say that there are technically 2 Alices in the Hearts of Buell arc. Why didn't there you go. Riddle's about to shout at Riddle's about to shout at you, kid. He was about to shout at Yukin, and Ace is just like, shut up, you're wrong. Oh, he just called Riddle an idiot to his face.
Okay, reel it back. We don't use that word around here. I don't care.
Keita's like, we don't call people idiots around here, please. And Ace is like, I don't give a damn.
Everyone hates these rules.
Why does the animation budget go up the second Riddle is on screen? Like, the two of them were kind of, like, jankily drawn. They're a bit like Deuce and Ace. Not to, like, a bad degree, but just, like, you could tell the quality was put lower. But literally every time the screen goes to Riddle, the animation quality just goes up massively. All the budget has gone to this dude. What does Off With Your Heads do again? It cuts off a magician's magic. It's explained in the game that, and I think in most other media, that losing a magician's magic, the thing that's most important to them, is basically the equivalent of losing their heads. So that's how they, like, explain it. But yeah, the collar is like an anti-magic mechanism. You can't cast magic with it on. Riddle's like, oh, you guys. Hey, it's a thumbnail. Riddle's like, oh, so you guys think I'm in the wrong, do you? He's like, no.
In the year that I have served as house warden, not a single student has been expelled or held back a year. Partsview is the only...
You have one. He's saying, like, the year I've been house warden, nobody has dropped out or changed dorms or failed a year. You have 1 year track record, dude. That's not a good pool of evidence or whatever.
That alone puts me in the right. I am the best student and strongest mage of anyone in this house.
Oh my gosh.
You shall obey.
Oh jeez. Oh my god. Oh, that was kind of that genuinely scared me there. I can't show it because of the censor bars, but his face here is absolutely, like, genuinely borderline psychotic. And oh frig, the desktop audio's on. That's why you guys could hear it. I didn't turn desktop audio off again. Great, whatever. We move on. We thrive. We survive. I'm gonna die. But that moment there genuinely scared me, where he picked up his scepter there. No, doesn't really do much to you, but it's still awkward to have to wear one. Yeah, so yeah, it wouldn't affect... Technically, it doesn't affect non-magic users. It is specifically a spell to combat other magic users. However, it's still a giant chunky collar. So even if it's just wearing one, it's gonna be inconvenient, especially if you have to sleep with it. Oh god, he looks really cool though here. Oh, I'm terrified for what's about to happen, but... Oh, baby riddle scenes. Also, I saw someone point this out on Twitter or something. He has this, so if you see this little badge here, this massive badge, badge that looks massive on him here. 1 second, let's switch back to, okay, that's his creepy face. But okay. He wears that badge on literally everything he owns. So seeing him as a kid and seeing it there as well, it's not... a lot of people thought it was just like a symbol of being a dorm head or a house warden or whatever, but no, it just confirms that it's just a precious, like, little childhood thing of his that he just keeps on him constantly, which raises a question of what it is, because obviously because people thought it was a house warden thing, there's no typical explanation for it. So I'm hoping we get an answer to that at some point now. Jesus Christ. He is freaking me out right now. I'm happy in the sense of I'm glad they're actually making Riddle intimidating, because I was worried that they wouldn't be able to fully pull it off, but also kind of want to run away. Don't worry, you can hear sound, but you can't make out what they're saying at all. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting there. This is a line thing now, not an animation thing. Basically, Grimm just said, like, I'm not gonna apologize to a tyrant, because Kata told them all to apologize to, like, calm things down. But then Ace has just gone and said, like, he said we're not gonna apologize to a selfish, hot-headed something tyrant. He just 4 insults before the word tyrant. Which is interesting because in literally every other interpretation of this, interpretation of this scene, the roles are flipped here. Or like it's either Juice or Ace is saying like, I'm not gonna apologize to someone who's acting like a tyrant, and then Riddle's like, excuse me? And then Ace is the one that drops him in, Grimm is the one that drops him in it by adding a bunch of like extra negatives on like the selfish, hot-headed, all that jazz, adds that onto it and just screams it and says like, you are a tyrant, not you are like a tyrant, you are a tyrant, and all these other horrible things. So the fact that they've switched it up and made Ace the one to just fling a bunch of insults is a bit weird, personally. Because, first off, Ace, I know I've been dragging Ace recently, but it's more he's just unlucky rather than he intentionally seeks conflict. So the fact that they have decided to actually paint him as going too far is weird, because first off, it kind of removes any sympathy you have for Ace for being directly responsible for a lot of things, whereas Grimm can kind of get away with it because he doesn't live with humans. As he explains in his backstory, he's always been alone, so he doesn't really get social etiquette and like the consequences from running his mouth, because he's never had anyone to run his mouth to. Whereas Ace, well, Ace has an older brother, so he knows how stuff like that would go. Could just be a family brooch. It might be, but I'm hoping if it is that they're gonna show that in his like backstory scenes, which I don't know if they're gonna do it in today's episode, but hey, I don't know. But that's just a weird thing for me, having Ace be the one to dob him in it rather than Grimm. Oh, I love it. Oh, they're showing it at this point. They show it a bit later in the game of the. Oh, here it is. Other part of the thumbnail. What are the other? Oh, he is going. He's having a full tirade. He is fully freaking out. That scene is a bit different as well, because obviously what's happened there is Riddle's cast his magic, and by both doing his unique spell, he's both done his unique spell and knocked them all the way out of the party garden. I think this is specifically for the party garden. Whereas in, again, literally every other interpretation of the scene, it's he casts a spell, the collars get put on, and then Trey and Keita drag them out of Hartslebule again, or like to the entrance of Hartslebule. That's like, yeah. Riddle is just like, all done, I'm gonna smile again. God. Oh, my baby Riddle! Oh, wait, that's so cute. Oh, it's all 3 of them! Oh. Ironically, the censor is actually kind of hiding Genya, but oh, never mind, there he is. Oh, no, please, I'm gonna cry, No, what? No, sorry, I have to show that expression. I'm sorry. No, I have to show that. That's so heart-wrenching. Oh my god. That's like Higurashi levels of... That is Higurashi levels of despair. Oh my god. Oh, please watch the full episode, guys, if you get the chance, because... Okay, this isn't, like... He has a separate... Riddle has a separate voice actor for when he's, like, young. And by God, is this person kicking, like, pulling out the park, is that the saying? I forget sayings. That is a trauma face. It's so sad. It's so sad. Like, Twisted Wonderland, why must you give me trauma? Why must you give me trauma for something I didn't even experience? Trey, oh. Double? Oh wow, they doubled up in this scene. That's crazy. Does that mean they're gonna skip a scene later with it included? I'm a little worried. To be fair, okay, so we only have 2 more episodes after this episode, so I have a feeling there may be some content skipped over, just so they can wrap everything up neatly. But at the same time, it's like, Grim is like, not a kid. Sorry. Poor Deuce. Deuce is going through. He's like, I'm not gonna be an honor student. Oh! I know that laugh. Floating head. There'll be floating head. There is a floating head. Sorry, I don't know why that particular makes me laugh. Oh, Grim just jumped into use. Oh, that's so cute. He is Papa. He is Papa. You can is Grimm's Papa. Oh, that is freaky. That is okay. In the game, his smile is unfortunately you can't see it because of the blur, but he has like that really wide Cheshire grin right now. In the game, it looks a lot more natural. It looks really creepy here for some reason. Okay, that's more normal. Oh, this is body. Jenya. Okay, excuse the longest. A person. Okay, I need to gas up Damon Mills here. So, as I said, Damon Mills, the voice actor for Linny from Genshin Impact, the other catboy I was referencing. So when I heard he was going to be voicing Chenya, I was like, oh, I guess maybe he's going to probably sound a bit like Lenny. Good old Lenny from Genshin Impact. I thought, like, okay, he's going to sound a bit like Linny in comparison to, like, when he sounds like Blade. But this voice in itself is, like, completely different again. This man has insane... I think male. I think he's male. He's either male or non-binary, I forgot. But, sorry if I'm getting his pronouns wrong. But, yeah, it's some... God! Oh my god, Damon Mills, I kneel before thee and thy insane range. God, you are a god-tier voice actor. Please, please continue to voice act until, like, the end of time. Someone make him immortal so he can be in every piece of fiction ever. Oh, I love Oh, Chenya. Oh, persnickety. He's a persnickety little kitten. He's a Discord kitten. This just in, Riddle Rose Hearts is a Discord kitten. Goonshin import. From hit fan favorite character Lenny from the hit game Goonshin import. Oh, he called Trey 4 Eyes. Okay, just to summarize the scene, Chenya's come in, causing chaos as he does. Love you, Chenya. He's like, well, if you want to know the lore of Riddle Rose Hearts, go talk to the guy with glasses. Okay. In the game, the one thing I want to point out animation-wise, in the game, they don't, well, not that they don't, the ribbon effect is new, both, actually through anything, it's not even in the manga. In the game, he just kind of, his different parts of his sprite mainly it's just his body disappears and then his head disappears. Which I think this whole disappearing act thing is meant to be his unique magic, but they just don't explicitly state it. Pulls a Yang. It's okay. I mean, Yang, to be fair, cat girl. I kind of like Chenya is a side character who makes a ton of impact. Gunshin import. He makes a lot of Gunshin import. He makes a lot of Genshin impact. Yes, I will be mentioning Genshin. It's those what is it? YouTube picking up the words, throwing it out to the Genshin audience. Hey Genshin fans, come at me. Oh, I'm such a sellout. But yeah, I like the addition of the ribbons. I love the hot pink color they are, which you can't see through sepia tone, but I do genuinely love I love the addition of it because it makes it, first off, the pink ribbons. Chenya's design is very, which you can't see because of the sepia tones, unfortunately. Chenya's design is very heavily purple. So a lot of the purple from the Cheshire cat, but not a lot of like the pink, like the inside of the ears and the stripes are. So the fact that they've added in the pink ribbons, which obviously are going to look like stripes because stripper ribbon, I love that added detail, actually. That's actually a really cool way to bring in the more pinker aspects of the Cheshire cat. Grim just said, what an amusing little fellow. Oh yeah, a character trait, a character trait of Chenya is to say he's constantly making cat puns. It's beautiful. I love it. Oh, and now they're yeah, they're like, should we go back to Trey? I don't want to go to the dorm. Oh hey, Trey's here, never mind. Hey, random Deosomnia student in the background. It's like, by the way, we just ran into this exposition dumper called Chenya, so fill us in on the childhood friend backstory. Oh. He's like, they're like, you're his childhood friend, why are you not telling him off? You should be the one who's closest enough to tell him he's being stupid. Oh! Oh, but, sort of big lore drop on Riddle. Basically, his parents are magical healers, or magical doctors, which, from the way, they don't fully explain it, but from what is known, or from how they describe it in the game, is that basically they're like a step above doctors, because obviously regular doctors can deal with regular ailments, but magical doctors, while they can also do the regular stuff from the sounds of it, they also they're adept at dealing with magic inflicted issues. Like, I don't know if you're take for instance Callum's butt after being burnt by Grimm's fire. You would then take, if Callum was suffering any long-term damage, you would take him to someone like Riddle's parents to deal with the magical inflicted burns, or maybe even like there's a curse or something that you need taken care of that's causing you an affliction. But yeah, basically so Trey and Chenya and Riddle all from this place called the Queendom of Roses, I believe the name is. And sorry, brain short-circuited there. And from there specifically, Riddle's parents are a really big deal, and because of that, they kind of imposed a lot on him. That's interesting. Okay, so you can't see Riddle's mother's face here. The reason I'm saying that's interesting is not. God damn you, sepia tone! You're ruining my color analysis this episode. Riddle's mother. Every time people have drawn Riddle's mother, we don't know her face. We've never seen her face, hence why it's shadowed out here. Because I'm hoping they reveal it at some point. It would be nice to actually see what this lady looks like, which, to be fair though, it looks like they're showing off a bit of her hair color, and it looks the same color as Riddle's, so I think, so at least that red interpretation was right. But we've seen silhouettes, so we've seen what her clothes sort of look like, and in the manga they show a little bit more detail on the clothing. But every time people draw her, they're like, oh, she is the mother of the Queen of Hearts inspired character. Everything to do with that dorm is red. Riddle especially has a very big red theme going on, so she probably is just decked out all in red. But here, her clothes are all black. I know it technically doesn't mean too much. It's probably just meant to add to the oppressive atmosphere the scene's meant to have. But it is surprising that they decided to make her design so bleak compared to, like... Obviously, fan artists will never have the final say in how a character looks, but it is shocking. It is a bit shocking to me that that's just how she looks. Yeah, basically, Riddle is like, those kids whose parents put unrealistic expectations on them and consistently force them to study rather than do literally anything else. That's what Riddle's mother did to him. Oh yeah, a big feat here. So, unique spells. Fuck, Riddle's mom, I've been waiting to say that whole stream. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Trust me, when you watch whatever episode 7 or episode 8 is and you get to see more of her, you're gonna be screaming that a lot louder. But, what's it? An impressive feat here is, so, a lot of times a person doesn't develop their unique magic until they come to an arcane academy. A lot of the freshmen that you will see, Ace and Deuce don't have any unique magic yet. They have not, it's a weird thing. Unique magic spells are kind of, they're just something innate within you that one day just turns on. Through whether or not you want it to, basically. And a lot of characters like Deuce and Ace, another first year, Appel Felmier, they have not unlocked their signature spells before like entering the academy. So yeah, they don't have any unique magic yet. It's also why you don't see Ace or Deuce use it in the Hearts of Buell arc. So, but they've just said Riddle mastered his at the age of 10, aka 6 years before one would enter an arcane academy in this world. So he is the definition of an early bloomer. Oh, I didn't see that. Wait, they just showed there in that scene that there were 2 more students up to the side. That's 10 people involved in this honey lemonade stunt. God. This poor dorm. This poor dorm. Basically, Trey's saying, like, Trey's explaining it like, so basically, because he's been brought up like this, the only way he's able to cope with all this trauma in his life is by thinking that this is the correct way to live, and if he accepts that if rule breaking is okay to any degree, he's just gonna have a complete mental breakdown. I agree, it's gone too far, but I can't say anything because I feel bad. Everyone's like, you can't really blame him for being a tyrant after that kind of backstory. Everyone's just standing there like, oh, poor Riddle, yeah, okay, that explains why he acts this way. I feel kind of bad now for everything. Ace is just like, okay, I understand. Trey and Sure funny's like this. When I first saw this moment in the game, I was like, what kind of logical fallacy are we subscribing to here? It's the classic, I have to be right because if I'm wrong, then so is my existence. I know, it's so sad. Everyone in the library is just staring. Oh, no, don't repeat this scene, please. The voice acting is actually crushing my heart, please. Oh, baby Trey, too. Crying his eyes out, the poor boy. Ace is like, dude, you of all people are aware of the origin of his behavior and how he's basically just repeating generational trauma to his non-children. Why aren't you saying anything? No, honestly, I agree with Ace. No, I agree with him on it, but when you first see it in the game, so you have little, like, segments. The game's weird, and how it's like, you don't just do one thing entirely. There's, like, little segments that you, like, I think I said before, there's, like, 20-something chapters to the Hearts of Yule arc. Yeah, there's like 20-something chapters to the Hearts of Yule arc. So one of them just ends with Ace being like, Trey, it's your fault, and you're like, what? How did you get there? But then after he explains it, it's like, wait, no, actually that makes sense. 1 second, sorry. Like, freaking phone died, and now I have to put it on charge. Sorry. Ah, crap. Oh, frig. Glad I fell down there, because I just fell down right onto my bed. Yeah, it's definitely funny how it's presented. which obviously is the intent. It's meant to be like a comedic moment, but like... it's like Ace. Ace, you could have introduced that better, buddy. Ace presenting good points, like, dude, you're letting him be friendless and alone. You are literally making things worse for him by not saying anything. This is one part that I do genuinely love about Ace's character, is that he is the most no-nonsense of the entire cast. He is straight up like, dude, please? Literally in any situation, he's like, that's stupid. No, we're not doing that. Can we move on, please? Though, to be fair, like I said, he is incredibly unlucky, so 9 times out of 10, it ends up happening anyway. Wait, no, that's actually kind of cute. That's interesting how that feels a bit different in the game. In the game, it feels like Ace is just fully lecturing, or it feels like Ace is just fully lecturing Trey and being like, dude, you are a massive moron. But here it kind of, the way that, I don't know if it's the voice acting or like the fact that he's kind of like got this sort of pouty pose and expression on, but it feels more like he's defending Riddle in a weird way, because he's being like, dude, he's just gonna end up friendless and alone. Why would you want that for him? Like, it feels like he's in a weird way batting in Riddle's corner here for some reason. I don't know. Oh no, not the baby Trey. No, not the baby Trey. No, come this way, Trey. Baby Trey, I'll give you a hug, please. Oh no. Why are all the children in this game so heartbreaking? Look, Crowley. Carly's like, be quiet in the library, goddammit. Again, a slightly different presentation in the animation compared to literally every other medium. In the game and the manga and the book, he comes up and he's like very mad. He's like, why are you all yelling in the library? And everyone's like, you're yelling as well. But then here he's like quite jovial for some reason. Okay, they've skipped over a minor thing here where basically Crowley walks in, he has no context of the situation, and then they explain things to him. It's like a black cutaway thing. But here it's just like, Crowley's just apparently been listening in the whole time. It's like, don't worry, I have ears everywhere. Specifically these two, because I was standing right behind you this entire conversation, and Trey just decided not to tell you. Another strike in Trey's corner. Getting too many of them this episode, dude. This episode? Jesus Christ. Crowley, back up, my guy. Crowley, there's this thing called personal space. Crowley. Oh, here's the thing being introduced. Yeah, Crowley's just been like, well, if you're upset with how Riddle is running things, just challenge him and become House Warden yourself. I believe I have stated this in a past episode because they mentioned how that was how Riddle got the title of House Warden despite being a first year. But yeah, this is where it's fully explained. Crowley here is majorly eager for a duel. In the game, and again, in the game it's presented as like, Crowley's like, well, here are your options. If you are just that dissatisfied with things, you can, like... Crowley feels like that, be like, yeah, I was here the whole time, don't mind me. That was him in this situation. Honestly, Crowley does kind of tend to fill that role. It's like there's a dramatic moment not in the main story, but in events, there tends to be stuff like where there's like a dramatic moment going on and people tend to forget Crowley's there, and then he comes in like, oh, the dramatics, the tension, the beautiful bonds between my students, bravo. That's a bit more Rook Hunt than Crowley, but that's basically what he's like. But in the game, it's Crowley's presented as just being like, alright, you're unhappy? You literally only really have 3 options. Continue to suffer, apologize, or fight him for the thing of House Warden. Then you can just straight up order him to take off the collars, because you're House Warden, you're in charge. But here Crowley's just like, do you want to duel him? You can duel him if you want to. Do you want to duel him? I'll set things up for a duel. We can duel him. You can duel him. You can duel him. All of you can duel him. Do you want to do a duel? I want to see a duel. What? No, I mean, I'm just being a good educationer. Duel. You can duel. There's other options, but dueling is one of them. Dueling is a big God damn it, Crowley. Ace is like, we're doing this. I don't care. I'm gonna fight him. I want to fight him. Oh, that's okay. In a weird way, that's kind of cute. Ace is like, yeah, I want him to come and be like, please, Ace, I'm sorry. I am so sorry for everything I've done. Also, Ace in the House Warden's uniform, love it. There have been fan arts where basically after a lot of... One thing that became a mini trend at one point was people drawing the first years in the House Warden outfits. Because, like, they're the main characters, obviously, in the future. They're gonna somehow become the House Wardens. And one big one was people drawing Ace and Deuce as them, because it's like, they're both first years. Who the hell's gonna be the dorm leader out of the two of them? This issue has not arisen in any other dorm. There's only one first year in every other dorm. Or a maximum of one house first year in each dorm. So people got really into designing Ace and Deuce as co-house wardens, which if the game does go on to do something like that, where we for some reason get to see them as like second or third years and have taken over the role, I'd love it. I would love to see that. I'm sorry, but please, Yana, please. Please, if we manage to get that far with this series, please dual House Wardens for Hearts of You. And they're just constantly butting heads. Yukin's like, it's a bit sadistic, mate. He's probably just bored with something interesting to do. So, you know what he should be doing? Finding a way to send you home. This is a major thing in the games. He does not bother looking for a way to get the protagonist home at all. It is highly concerning, to the point where people are theorizing that he brought them here intentionally and is just acting like a dumbass to keep them there. I don't know if that's real. This is genuinely just a theory people cooked up, because it's like, was so insane that he wouldn't be doing this one thing or having, because because there's straight up a point in the game where the main character is talking with some of their friends in the game, and they're like, hang on a second, there's these weird coincidental things here. If I search, we literally just use the internet to search this stuff up. This is sort of giving us a major lead and able to send you home. A Google search was all it took. A conversation in a Google search was all it took for the protagonist to get more progress than what Crowley got out of them in 7 arcs. 7 arcs. It's insane. Grim was like, I want to fight him too. Crowley's like, sorry, that's against the rules, mate. I want you to fight him. I'd love it if you fought him. I'd love to see that fight go down, but unfortunately, I do have to actually abide by the rules. Oh yeah, and there's a caveat where it's a magic only fight. You can't just punch your way to victory, unfortunately. Which would be funny, because Riddle is obviously so not, like, physically strong. So, and now they're freaking out, because they're like, okay, well, we could have taken him in a fist fight, but oh, that's a cool little frame there. Riddle being just like exuding aura. And Crowley's literally just like, I know I've only just informed you of that, and you confirmed you wanted to do it under not understanding the full thing. But bye, I'm gonna go sort it out now. Bye. At least in the game, Crowley waited for Ace to say like, no, I still want to go ahead with it. They're like, we can totally do this. Totally. Yeah, we'll totally be fine. Totally will be fine. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Shackle. Oh, the mirror again. We're getting 2 mirror things per episode. Yukon, I'm so sorry, mate. Oh, I'm so... That is interesting. I know I mentioned earlier about people saying Ace seems to have pulled also inspiration from Alice. And then I mentioned a little bit after that it's weird that they, for some reason, had Ace say the, like, full line of, like, the selfish, hot-headed, blah, 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 tyrant. Because this scene here, I tend to skip over these scenes because obviously I know the movies. But Alice here is saying, like, you're nothing but a fat, self-centered, self-serving tyrant, or whatever she just said. So that makes a bit more sense there if they're trying to further push the parallels between Ace and Alice. That is very interesting, actually. But it begs the question, why then did they have Grimm say it in literally every other version? Run! Alice, run! I nearly said Ace. Grimm, once again, sleeping without covers, somehow peaceful. You can literally see the back of the collars just propping him up. It's insane. Okay, you can starting to wise up to the fact that, okay, the mirror's got something to do with these weird dreams. You can go back to bed, it is 3 a.m. Oh, okay. Okay. I know I've been keeping an eye on the I've been keeping an eye on the timer. I'm surprised they're obviously they're just gonna do the start of it. They're not gonna do the full fallout this episode of the duel, but at least I don't think so. I don't know if they have enough time left to do that, but I'm surprised they, even just if it's just the little, like, the preamble to the duel, I'm surprised they're including it in this episode. Because now I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck are they gonna do for episode 8? Because a lot of... This is the final stretch. When the duel starts, this is the final stretch of the story. Minor spoilers, sorry. So, like... What are they gonna do? How are they gonna manage to drag out the rest of the story for 2 solid episodes? To the best of my knowledge, there is definitely not enough content to cover 2 more episodes. Unless it's gonna be something where, like, no, but then... Okay, then it's awkward, because... Well, maybe it's meant to be the prelude, but... Maybe the reason they're rushing the stuff into this episode is because they want to have more time to focus on the consequences of the duel in the last 2 episodes. Like, as I'm saying out loud, I'm kind of seeing it in my head now, how that would work, because there's definitely, and I was gonna say perhaps they were gonna do like some sort of special episode thing for episode 8, like anime original content. But there's definitely, they would not be able to fit the remainder of the story in 1 episode alone. So it will be stuff stretched out across the last 2 episodes, but unless they like decide to just rush things, which I'm pretty sure they're aware would royally piss off the fandom. But beach episode, of course. I mean, actually, fun fact, right now in the game, the event is called Trials of Romance. And while it isn't really a beach episode, the characters that are involved in the event do get soaked, and some characters do have, one character actually, the SSR of the event, is they have a separate sprite where you can literally see them absolutely soaked. Well, not unfortunately, because the outfits in the game are actually really cool. They are in what, suits instead of like swimwear, but it's just search up Trials of Romance. The outfits are amazing. They're attending a wedding. It's weird. It makes no sense until you play the event, but they're attending a wedding. More mirrors. You can't see in Crowley's hand, but once again, the the school's infatuation with mirrors is about to show its head. Oh, look, that's so cute. Yukin got dressed up in his kendo wear, but he's not only did he make a sign to like cheer on Ace and Deuce, he gave Deuce his little headgear thing. It's so cute. This is a manga / anime original thing, because I said before, the protagonist of the book, Yuya, I think it's Yuya, is his name. He's just like, he's literally the stereotypical isekai protagonist of, I'm a shy, quiet guy in class who doesn't talk to anyone at all. I have no interests or hobbies, which is actually meant to be a character flaw of his, so fair enough. But yeah, so obviously he couldn't give either the Makendo hat or anything. And in the game, because they're trying to make the main characters plain enough that the person playing would be able to very heavily self-insert. Obviously, you don't get a kendo hat in that either, but it's a really cute scene, personally. Ooh. He's removing the collars because it's like unfair standards or something. Riddle is so smug. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, oh, enjoy this moment while it lasts. I assure you it will be brief. Can I voice act Riddle Rosehearts? Can I do a thing where I just dub over Riddle, like Femme Riddle? His lines are so cool. I love his lines. Oh my god. I don't know if my voice would be anywhere near a good fit for Riddle, but it's just, it's good. Yeah, I like the mirror imagery as well, because I don't think I ever explained it, but Yana's the main theme of the game is kind of similar to Has Been Hotel, to randomly bring that up, in the sense of like, even though even someone who has literally hit rock bottom and has somehow dug through it, you can still redeem yourself. Or like, I forget how she specifically worded it, but it's meant to be like, even if you are a villain, there is always like a path to redemption. There's no physical stopping point. You can always become a better person. So the fact that there's such heavy mirror imagery is nice, because obviously mirrors reflecting you, and the whole point of like the story is like a villain reflecting on themselves and their actions and becoming a better person. So it's one of those things where I think it was technically unintentional. Well, may have been unintentional. It may have just been them trying to make massive callbacks to Snow White and continue the mirror imagery because of the dark mirror and making that like a big thing of the school. But even if it is accidental, which again I'm not entirely convinced that it is unintentional, because like I said, Yana had that at the forefront of her mind while writing the story. It's nice. It's a nice little detail which you don't really get until you properly think about it. It's that line delivery. Paul Castro Jr., you are so talented. There's good in every villain. Yeah, exactly. Well, not necessarily. Not exactly. It's not that there's good in every villain. It's that even if you are the worst person to ever exist, as long as you strive to become someone better, you will become someone better. That's more of what the messaging is. You'd make an amazing film. That's all you'd be proud of it. Sorry. Oh, such an ugly laugh. Oh my god. Screw it. That's gonna be one of the membership goals. Femboy art. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that style joke. That has made my day. That has made my day. Femboy Nathaniel! Oh my god! Yeah, cause Nathaniel's more kind of himbo-ish inspired. But like, whatever the himbo twink inspiration is. Whatever that fusion is called. Whatever that fusion is called. That's what he is. My god. Okay. No, that is straight up gonna be an art. It's gonna be an art. That's gonna be a membership goal. Oh, this is okay. I need to calm down. This is quite a sweet, somewhat serious moment. Yukon's being like, oh yeah, I lent him my mask because it's like a symbol of perseverance in his world. Riddle's like, no, is that so? Alright, whatever. Riddle's like, oh, that's a cool story, bro. Just them side by side with water reflecting each other. No, stop, you're actually giving me ideas. You're actually giving me so many ideas right now, it's crazy. Stop, I'm gonna... Riddle's just like, dude, I'm a bit tight on schedule here. I need to make tea time. Can you guys just come at me at once so we can get this over with? Ways to piss off your underclassmen 101. Tell them they're weak. Oh, mirror's gonna get smashed. I wonder if it's gonna end with the mirror getting smashed rather than what actually happens in the duel. I don't think we have enough time for it. Yeah, okay, it's gonna end maybe. We'll see. Oh no, we actually do get to see the duel. Sorry. Hit the mic. And that was the duel, guys! It literally is that short. In the game, you don't even get like a... if I'm remembering correctly, you don't even get like a battle mechanic because it's just that quickly over. The second the mirror breaks, he's just like off of your head, and they're done. Because I can't. That's one of the cool things about Riddle's spell. This is a great way to illustrate how absolutely insanely powerful it is. Because now they are literally, because of the you can't do physical violence in the fights rule, they are screwed. They are screwed. They can't continue the fight. Though technically they have to kind of admit defeat for some reason, but technically here they're just going to be standing around doing nothing for like however long. That's what she said. Sorry. I paused it because I was gonna say like, oh, that's a really cool, intimidating frame of Riddle. But then he just said, just as I was pausing it, he just said, you couldn't even last 5 seconds. I'm sorry, but I forget he's, oh my god, he says that. That caught me off guard. I couldn't help it, okay? I couldn't help it. My mind's still on the Trey Cater joke I made earlier. I'm gonna shout. Oh, okay, fair enough. The episode's nearly done, Sergio, anyway, so. Have a good shower. You should watch Welcome to Demon School, Leader Rumacun. I have watched it. I love it. I especially love the Mafia spin-off AU that it's canonical as well. I was shocked because you don't usually see that. Like, I know, Demon Slayer has the canonical, like, high school modern day thing, but that's not really an AU, that's more just a modern continuation of the series after everything that transpires. But it was really cool to see, like, the mangaka being like, I love these characters so much that I want to make a canonical AU. And the fact it was a Mafia one as well. If anyone ever sees any Mafia AU art of Twisted Wonderland, please send it to me. And there's the outro. ending on Riddle being like, you couldn't even last 5 seconds. Sorry. Yeah, skipping outro, and it's just the 4 coma left now, so if you're here for the main meat of the story, you may leave. You made me feel physically dirty to talk. Riddle was the one who said it, not me, okay? I just told you what he said. I didn't do anything. Yeah, we got the 4 coma. Oh, that's a cool way to do it. Because with the other ones, they've been using storybooks, but, you know, Aladdin, I think a lot of the things were done on parchment paper in the movie itself. So that's really cool that they've done that here, that it was scrolls rather than physical books. Kalim! Shout out to Rose Ember, who's like a big creator in the Twisted Wonderland scene. Her favorite character is Kalim, so... Oh wait, Nazi, we actually get to hear Nazi's voice. This is insane. So obviously Nazi, Alejandro Saab, aka Azul's ex-brother-in-law's VA. People were making jokes of how he came into the recording booth for episode 1 and just recorded 3 sides and was done. So I'm actually glad now because we're finally gonna hear how he sounds as Jamil, because he is the only one who I couldn't fully assess the voice for. I love Kalim's voice. It's so light and airy, and it just fills you with like happy in like kind of like in a weird ASMR way. It fills you with happy tingles. Oh wait, okay. Weirdly, I kind of okay. So obviously Nazi also voices Al Haytham from Genshin Impact. Everybody here voices someone in fucking Genshin Impact, I swear. It's unfortunately the only reason I know half these guys is because of Genshin Impact. Well, though actually it's a bit of a lie. I know Paul Castro Jr. because he voice acted what's it? Fucking I forgot his name from Twowie 2. He voices the main character in Twowie 2, and that's how I know him. That's really the only outlier. Everybody else here that I know is because of fucking Genshin Impact. But yeah, I expected him to do a bit more of an Al Haytham-y voice, Because to be quite honest, they're not one-to-one the same. Jamil is, in some aspects, very different to Al Haytham, but the way both of them are quite stoic in how they present themselves, or at least initially Jamil comes off as quite stoic. So I was expecting a little bit of like the Al Haytham-y flavor to the voice, but it's like David Mills just did. It's surprising. He's got quite a bit of a different inflection than he does as Al Haytham. Oh, actually, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be completely real with you. The way he's voice acting Jamil here sounds like, what's his name? Oh, Kaveh. For some reason, the way he's voice acting Jamil here, ironically, is giving me Kaveh vibes. But yeah, the thing behind this is that Kalim's like, oh yeah, I invited over Ruggy to have like a giant feast. And Jamil's like, excuse me, why are you inviting people over when you know I'm the one who has to cook? It's like, dude, you're inviting so many people over every day. Can you please stop inviting people over? I don't have to cook for so many people. 3 straight weeks. Kalim apparently for 3 straight weeks, Kalim has been inviting people over for being like, oh yeah, we'll give you a feast based off of like food from the Scalding Sands, which is their homeland. And she was like, I am the one who has to cook. Can you please give me a break? Oh my gosh. Jamil's like, okay, hands up, I don't care anymore. You're cooking. Oh, poor Kalim. Oh, poor Ruggy. Oh. Oh, Ruggy coming in with that emotional manipulation. Dude, I'm so hungry. Please cook for me. He's like, I didn't eat last night because I wanted to taste your food. And I brought all these containers to take all the leftovers home. Oh. He is a master of manipulation, I swear to God. I canceled the cancellation. Oh no. This is a bit of interesting, not canon divergence necessarily, but in the main game, so here Kalim was about to cancel his plans with Ruggy, the hyena boy. Oh no, Staljo's in here. I just realized Staljo left before he could see the hyena boy. Oh, Staljo, no. Staljo, no. Wait. Yeah, so Colin was about to cancel his plans with Ruggy. But because he didn't want to cook, or not that he didn't want to cook, he didn't want to cook. Interpret that as you will. But in the game, Kalim actively tries to help Jamil with cooking, and Jamil's the one who says, like, no, you can't cook. You can't I don't want you helping me out in the kitchen. You just sit down and chill with the guests. That is like, happens multiple times throughout the story, to the point where there's another bit in the story where Kalim is like, I got to stir the curry! He's literally just so happy that he was involved with the cooking just one time, that he that it was like a major like moment for him. Not like major as in like it's heavy plot relevance or anything, but it's just more of like a Kalim is smiling thing. And it's interesting because first off, Jamil would, I don't know, it's weird, because in other interpretations, even when Jamil tells Kalim off for this kind of situation, he will still, at the end of the day, he will still go ahead and cook stuff. He will still go ahead, he'll still be like, fine, I'll do it. I don't know if maybe this is meant to be like, to be fair, in the other interpretations, it's more of treated as more of a one-off than a continuation of events. But yeah, he would literally rather suffer another day of cooking than ever let Kaleem anywhere near the kitchen. He would never suggest to Kaleem, hey, you just cook it, you're the one who's cooking now. But also, so this begs the question of this potentially being some point in the future of the story when Jamil gets over that kind of thing, but damn, my shower was quick. I'm actually proud of that. I grabbed my phone to watch something while brushing my teeth. Nice. Yeah, Hyena Boy's here! Staljo, you made it back just in time! We got Hyena Boy, he's a bit covered by the sensor right now, but wait one sec. Hyena Boy! It's Hyena Boy! He's here! And he's doing a cooking episode of Kaleem! The Sultan guy. Oh, that's nice! Okay, so there's one event in the game called Culinary Crucible, which is basically like a mini event where two characters get do like a cooking course with the ghosts who are like the chefs at the school, and it's sort of like this small event that crops up every now and then when they need to they haven't had time to like make new content to fill a gap. And this is the outfit Kaleem's wearing right now, and potentially the one we're going to see Ruggy in if they decide to take it that far. This is the outfit that he wears for that event. It's so nice to see. I hope we get callbacks, I suppose it would be. Callbacks to other events in the game with, like, outfits and stuff. That'd be nice to see. No, unfortunately, it is a one-off joke. God damn it. Hyena guy! Hyena guy! It's Hyena guy! Ruggy's like, whoa. So, as I was saying, because Jamil never lets Kaleem cook, Kaleem has no goddamn idea how to cook. and now Ruggy's having to step in like, dude, no, we don't do that. That's not how we do the food. Oh, Jamil. Aw, Ruggy's like, I love how Jamil was just like outside the door. Very in character for him. Can't wait to see the outfit you didn't get by one point. Mods, ban him. Ban him now. Ruggy's trying to beg Jamil to cook. Jamil, please. We both know what's gonna happen if he cooks. Ruggy's like, okay, fair enough, I get it. Some days you just don't want to cook. But may I turn your attention to Exhibit Kaleem? So he's just grabbed like the most random. Those are toadstool mushrooms. Where did you get those? You are gonna poison yourself. Sir, you are meant to be an expert in poisons. He literally just grabs all the spiciest spices. That is so Kaleem. That's how food was created, Jamil. We experiment in this kitchen. We go all out. We do whatever the hell we want. Plip. You don't have YouTube mods, plus you already blame me twice and you keep showing the reason I wrote this. No, you know what? You reminded me of that now. I'm streaming with you. Okay, by the way, just I finally figured out the schedule thing, so that'll come out later tonight. But we're probably gonna just... I don't know if we're gonna be doing Higurashi tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna be doing any Higurashi tomorrow, but we will... we might be playing Discord golf for the whole stream, but... Mom also banned me. What's the next thing? You're just a bad magnet, aren't you? But yeah, so tomorrow I am going to be over on Yuki's channel, potentially streaming my perspective. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is still going to be a collab. I was like, I don't want to cook. I don't want him to cook either, but I don't want to cook. Fergie's just like pushing him into it. He's like, Fergie's straight up like, dude, I get you don't, I understand. You don't want to cook. But if you don't, your household is gonna poison us all. Wait, that's actually really cool. Okay, so it's kind of a thing where it's a weird thing where all the house wardens are meant to have their own sort of scepter, which is obviously meant to call back to like magician scepters, and like in particular you have Maleficent with hers. Riddle's is the one you see the most. He tends to carry his around a lot. Leona's, I would say, you see the second most, and then Malleus is the one that like jumps out as really showing his off. You have not Jamil. You have Azul and Vil, who actually no, not Vil. There's a slight difference. You have Jamil, who has his scepter. I don't okay, and Vil and Idia are kind of exceptions to the rule, because rather than a scepter, I think Vil doesn't have a scepter. 1 second. Let's just double check this. But Idia Shroud, the guy who's in charge of Ignite, he doesn't have a scepter. He has like this little floating techie skull looking thing. Showing height. Scepter. Yeah, actually, I don't think Vil has a scepter. I think he's similar to, he's an exception to the rule like Idia, but rather than having like a floating head thing, his thing is that he has a book, which obviously is a magical item in and of itself, and is a callback to the evil queen who uses a spell book in her movie. But you see them with these items time to time, specifically also in fighting. You see them using in like the fighting sprites, but outside of them you don't really tend to see them too much. Riddle, Leona, and Malleus, you see them in a lot of media. They're holding theirs. Riddle in the most. Leona purely because he has more appearances. You see him hold the scepter a lot because of that. Though I would say, if we're going by ratio of how many times they're holding it, Malleus is holding it a bit more than Leona when he shows up. But Kaleem, you never really see him with his scepter, so it's neat to the point where it's like, I had no idea what the, that they had that sort of like glass detail in the orb thing there. Like, if I go back real quick, sorry. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to expand screen there. 1 sec. Let me just. Here we go. If I just pull the sensor a bit down, this underneath the snake head where it's got that like sort of glass stained looking bit. I had no idea that was there. That is how little you see not Sebek. Fuck. That's how little you see Kaleem with his scepter. So it's nice to actually finally have a point of reference, a proper point of reference for the top of his scepter. Kaleem's like, I'm gonna cook whatever with magic. And now everybody's covered in soot. Poor Jamil. He ended up having to cook anyway, didn't he? Oh god. Jamil is literally having trouble breathing in the corner. And then you have Kaleem just like eating. And this is how you know it's not canon. Oh my god. Ruggy immediately is just running away with a giant sack of food. Oh my god. Oh no, poor Jamil. He is straight up dying. Oh, the end. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. They like rolled up the parchment paper there. But yeah, that was the end of episode 6 of Twisted Wonderland, the animation episode of Hostility. Boom.
How'd you guys like it? Did you think it was fun? I thought it was fun. We got to hear Damon Mills again. Damon Mills.
He's so talented, oh my god. Sorry. But yeah. Oh, also, I just realized, what's it? I didn't do this last month because it's... Actually, never mind. I'll do it later. I haven't gifted out the 10 memberships you can get yet because, I want to save it for the start of the month after I've done the whole wheel thing, because otherwise it gets a bit muddled, but like, I like your excitement to it all. That seems to be the common thread here, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I do these kinds of streams, you guys are like, I don't really know much about the anime, but I like your enthusiasm. That seems to be the interpretation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know. Yeah, did you guys like the actual episode? Did you like Riddle going absolutely psychotic? I say that now, we still have more episodes to go, but I really like this episode. It gave Riddle the development he needed and also gave Ace some great moments. I will say, just to hype up the next episode, my favorite Ace moment is incoming. It's the... Okay. I don't want to spoil, but... Okay, so because the game, the book, and the manga have different writers, there's different interpretations of what I would call Ace's penultimate scene in the episode of Heartslebule. Like, specifically what certain lines are directed towards certain characters. So I'm but obviously the anime itself has veered in slightly different directions, particularly in this episode. It's veered in a direction. Certain scenes have gone in directions that I wasn't expecting. Like, obviously you had Ace there saying a line that, as I said, was originally Grimm's, but they just had like a line swap for some reason. So I am interested to see how they take this upcoming scene, because the reason why it had such an impact on me in the game was because in the game you think it's the person who it's not what Ace says or does, but the character he's responding to in that scene. The way that it's his response to someone else's actions that really make him stand out and actually make me feel... That was the first moment where I was like, oh, never mind, I don't hate this guy as much anymore. It's that kind of scene for me. I'm trying to be as vague as possible because I don't want to spoil, but basically, if they took, and the route that I interpreted it as happening in the game is the route they took with it in the book, but in the manga they took it in a completely different direction with who certain lines are certain lines are directed to a different person in the manga as compared to the book. So I will say I prefer the book way of the interpretation. If the anime decides to diverge a bit from the manga and does it in the way the book does it, or like my original interpretation as it happened in the game, I will be immensely happy at that. I still am looking forward to the scene, even if it does follow the manga way, but at that point I will explain the differences between the book and the manga. But yeah, sorry. But long story short, a big moment for Ace is upcoming. I do like it, but I'm not yet extremely invested. But you do make it fun though, so yeah. I'm glad. I am glad I am encouraging you to watch this, or like at the very least become interested in the series. That is my goal, to at least indoctrinate. Well, I've seemed to have managed to get Mabu, Yuki, and Shade into it, so I'm gonna say 5 people. I've already got 3, and I just need 2 more. Actually, wait, no, I got 0 into it as well. So that's 4 people. Let's go. I'm 1 person away. Now, when are we getting new model? I want to like do it for a proper moment. If you're asking about my live 2D model, I want it to be for a proper like event thing. I don't want to just pull it out on a random Tuesday. I want there to actually be some kind of like significance to the moment, because otherwise it's just going to feel a bit cheap. And I want my dramatical flair with my model, okay? It's why I tried to do it for the anniversary, but as I said, I ran out of time to like work things out, and it was just kind of a pain that it didn't work out. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe New Year's, we'll see. But yeah, that has been episode... Sorry, I will be at these streams. I will consume Twisted, but just during the watch-alongs as I count. For now, I will allow it to semi-count. But don't worry, you will be indoctrinated soon. You will be oshikatsuing one of these characters. I've looked at the. You looked at the wiki. It's starting. The transformation into a Twisted Wonderland fan is starting. I just realized the fandom doesn't actually have like a name. Like in the game, because obviously they can't say your name. They call the main character Prefect. Which is weird. Okay, it's a weird thing in the game where the main character is half treated like the house warden of Ramshackle, and there's like alludements to it in the story. Like, one character who's also a house warden at some point says like, "Oh, you need to carry yourself a bit better since you are in charge of your dorm." But for some reason, they never actually call the main character Prefect. They never call the main character house warden. They always call the main character Prefect. And I never understood, because there's no other student. There's no Prefect isn't a role in Twisted Wonderland. Or like in Night Raven College, no other student is referred to as a prefect. There's no prefect in Heartsabule, Savannaclaw, Octavianil, Scarabia, Pomafiore, Ignahyde, or Diasomnia. The only prefect is the main character. So it's like, where did this term come from? like it does describe the main character, but why did they get a different title? Why, as they are, what the fuck was that? Sorry. I looked over at my phone. For first, I turned it on, then I turned it back off, and now I've turned it sideways, and the time has just come up in like bold red letters, and the background is like a fading of red to black. It looks like when there's a horror movie starting, and there's like those clocks with the clocks with the countdown. Clocks with the countdown being like, your time is numbered, it is being measured, or whatever the frick. Sorry. But yeah. It's just a weird side rant I have. It doesn't have any bearing on the overall story. It's just weird that's why it's just what it is. Unfortunately, I probably won't delve into Twisted after this, as my personal rule is I can't look into source material for a series with a confirmed second season. Fair enough, but I will say that if you do want to know a little bit more about it, if you don't want to play the game at risk of wanting to look at more content of it, I will say read the manga, because all the manga is very self-contained. Or, like, I'm saying this in the sense of, like, don't go towards the Savannaclaw manga, go towards the Heartsabule manga, just to read a bit more of it. And 1000% definitely read the book. I did not think I was going to like the book as much as I did. The protagonist of the book, Yuya, I know I kind of dragged him a bit earlier saying he was like a stereotypical isekai protagonist, but from the way things look, they've set a lot of... Yukon here is a pretty static character. Yukon, as the protagonist for the anime and the manga, is a pretty static character. He's meant to be a foil to Riddle in the sense of, like... It's like a Red Queen, White Queen situation. Riddle is the Red Queen, Yukon is the White Queen, where he has his shit together, whereas Riddle, as the Red Queen or the Queen of Hearts, doesn't. Whereas Yuya in the book, he is a flawed protagonist, and he is well aware of his flaws, but he's in the same sort of situation. As I said, that the stories, the themes and the premise of the story is of a bad person can always become good as long as they strive to become good, and you pick yourself up and you scale the mountain, or whatever the fuck the saying is. Yuya is kind of in that ballpark. So I will say that reading the book is a fresh perspective on the story. And also, like I said, the book follows the original story a lot closer than the manga and the anime does. So it is, with not actually playing the game itself, the book itself is the best way to experience the original story without the self-insertedness. What is the order? When do we get into the Hades arc? Not for a while, unfortunately. The order is Heartsabule, which is the Alice in Wonderland, Savannaclaw, The Lion King, then it's Octavianil, which is The Little Mermaid, Scarabia, which is the Aladdin one, Pomafiore, which is which kind of surprised me because Pomafiore, as I said a lot this stream. I talked a lot about Pomafiore this stream actually, but that's the Snow White one. So I was surprised that one wasn't the second one or even the first one for not well in the sense of I get why they went with Hearts of Yule first because the story of Alice in Wonderland is actually an isekai, but I would have thought they'd have gone for Pomafiore second because that's a major beat for the story. Because they definitely weren't going to have it last because you could tell from the beginning of the story they were beefing up Diasomnia to be the last one, but sorry. Yeah, Hearts of Yule, Savannah Claw, Octavianil, Scarabia, Pomafiore. Don't know where I roll my R there. Then you get the Hades arc, which is Ignahide, and then the current final thing is Diasomnia. But like I said, Book 8 has been announced and is coming out next month, aka January, which is is going to focus on the staff members based off the trailer. Which the trailer centers around Crowley, and each trailer for the arc centers around the House Warden of the upcoming arc, I believe. So the fact that it's centering around Crowley has led many people to be like, oh, it's going to be a staff-centric one, finally. It's either that or it's going to be Ramshackle, which I don't think... My only reason why I'm not thinking it's Ramshackle-focused is because, like I said, each arc focuses on the dorm, and obviously Ramshackle, even if you count the if you count the ghosts, that is plenty of students, but the issue is the ghosts are a heavily reused asset. If you play there's a few ghost related events such as like a Halloween one and then this Ghost Bride one, which when I think about it, they have a lot of marriage related events in the game. But yeah, a lot of the ghosts, the sprites for the ghosts are very stock sprites. Even like the Culinary Crucible event I mentioned before, the ghost, the teacher for the teachers for those events are just that look exactly the same as the Ramshackle ghosts, with cooking uniforms on. So it's they're reusable assets. They're not individual enough to be original characters in the story, unfortunately. So that's why I'm personally thinking that it's going to be centered around the staff this time. Because also very recently, just as we were getting into towards the end of book 6 into book 7, they started dropping cards for the staff members the same way that they would drop cards for the students. So they're gearing up to have the staff be somewhat relevant to the story. So yeah. Light novels, yeah, there's hi Connie. Welcome back. Yeah, there's light novels for it. There's currently, I think there's 3 currently out in Japanese. The Hearts of Yule, Savannah Claw, and Octavianil ones. That or it's Hearts of Yule and Savannah Claw have been published, and Octavianil is set to be published at some point. Currently, only the Hearts of Yule novel is available officially in English. But the Savannah Claw one is meant to come out next year. Let me actually check the date on that because I do want to pre-order that book. Savannah Claw light novel release date English. Oh, it's set to release next month as well. Yeah, Book of Savannah Claw. Oh wait. Okay, that's all. Okay, so it was. Oh no, that's the manga. But yeah. Let me just see. Maybe it'll just tell me if it's Yeah, it seems to be the book for Savannah Claw, ironically, is also coinciding with the start of book 8, so it's gonna be releasing in January 2026. Yay! What about Ramshackle being the final arc where Yu returns to his original world? Could be possible. I'm not entirely sure, because... Okay, there's some weird theories about Twist, which I feel like if I get into will majorly confuse people of how we got here. So I don't think I had enough time to explain all the theories pertaining to you and the world of Twisted Wonderland itself, but I have a feeling that it's a weird thing of if the main character does go home, it will be in the next arc. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to go home. I think the protagonist, if they don't go home in book 8, they are going to be stuck in Twisted Wonderland, whether it's because of magical shenanigans or because one of the theories that I mentioned is proven true. If they continue ahead with the RSA arc, I think it's highly unlikely the protagonist is going to go home. Using the anniversary money already, not judging, just guessing. Not yet. Actually, let me check Waterstone, see if it's available. I mean, the first thing I want to use the anniversary money for is all the art that I've promised, because there was the members art that I still need to get on top of, unfortunately. And then also I want to get the wallpapers sorted out. It's annoying, because, like, the main thing with finding an artist for the wallpapers is I'm trying to find one that offers the art in both dimensions. So, yeah, unfortunately. It's just one of those things where it's like you have to find an artist which offers that thing anyway. Let me see. Twisted Wonderland novel. Oh, they do actually. Wait, no, they do actually have the Savannah Claw thing up for sale. They got it up for pre-order. When's it coming out? Oh no, apparently it's coming out in February in the UK. Nah, we're gonna wait till the 26th. Or maybe not. The 26th of February 2026 is when it comes out in Ian. Or in UK. It's 15 quid. God damn it. I mean, the other one was 15 quid, so it's not the end of the world, but... Oh, I want to see the art in the books. One of the major reasons why I want to get the books is because they do have some artwork in them. And the artwork is always so pretty. I love the artwork. Oh, wallpapers. Yeah, again, it's just trying to find an artist and whatnot to get that down. But anyway, sorry, it's getting a bit late now. It's like 20 to 11 my time, so I am going to... I have been rambling too much after the end of stream. Not even about what stream is about. Oh, I'm a horrible person. But yeah, for now, guys, I am just going to sign off. And next stream is gonna be the golf thing, maybe... if I decide to stream my perspective of it, we'll see. But other than that, yeah, on Saturday is when we will do, we're gonna do the paint tool sci, or not paint tool sci, whatever the fuck it's called, just IBS paint, I don't even fucking know what it's called anymore. the free online the free drawing thing you get with your PC. Yeah, that I got on my PC anyway. And we'll do the push-ups and all that jazz during that one. I completely forgot about that. Ugh, I hate myself. And then we'll also do stuff like the chat choosing the, what's that? I deleted it on all the things, but... Wait, stream is Saturday? Yeah, stream is Saturday. Okay, I need to explain real quick. The whole thing of me streaming on Sunday, that wasn't by choice. The Wednesday shift is somewhat by choice because that's when the episodes are releasing, and I didn't want to have to swap around things majorly, so I just like, fine, we'll do the Tuesday stream Wednesday instead until the anime is, the season of the anime is done. Which, part of me is like hoping that Savannah Claw is also releasing on a Wednesday, because if it shifts to a different day, that's going to be incredibly awkward. But, as I was saying, the Sunday thing was more out of my control, because the lead up to the end of the year, I have a lot of events going on, sometimes it'll be something as simple as like I've got a friend who's got a birthday happening, or there's an event for either there was fireworks night, a Guy Fawkes night, which is a guy tried to blow up government, so we celebrate his failure to blow up government by blowing stuff up, as one does. And then we have other things where it's like, you know, just the lead up to Christmas. I just had a lot of things going on Saturdays, so I unfortunately don't change profile pics, please. Please have mercy on me, please. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just an unfortunate series of events where I just couldn't. Don't you fucking dare do Agnes Tachyon. Saljo, I will ban you for real. I will ban you for real, motherfucker. Don't test me. Don't test me. But yeah, sorry. Long story short, I'm rambling again. I unfortunately had a lot of stuff going on Saturdays, which meant I had to push streams to Sundays when I wanted to stream on Saturdays, which is why I did sometimes stream on Saturdays. My thing is I want to stream on Saturdays. Sorry, Zero. I went way too far into detail with that. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna head off now because it's late and I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. So I will see you all in the next one, alright? Thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you will have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye bye!